Imagine receiving a text message from a loved one. They tell you they've been placed in a secret government quarantine. You panic, unaware that the person typing those words is actually their killer. In late March 2020, as the entire world locked down, fear took over. Hospitals barred visitors, and human communication shifted almost entirely to digital screens. In the middle of this chaos, a businesswoman named Gretchen Anthony vanished from her Florida home. Soon after, her family and coworkers started receiving unusual, clinical texts from her phone. The messages claimed she had contracted an acute case of COVID-19. According to her phone, she was being held by the Centers for Disease Control in a secure medical facility. The texts ordered her family not to call or visit, claiming federal health officials had confiscated her device. The extreme health anxiety of early 2020 created an information vacuum. Her family was paralyzed with fear for her safety, which allowed a predator to hide in plain sight without anyone physically checking the front door. But while those sterile text messages kept Gretchen's loved ones at bay, the physical reality inside her townhouse in Jupiter, Florida, was different. On the morning of Saturday, March 21st, a neighbor had heard blood-curdling screams echoing from Gretchen's patio and garage. A woman was shouting, "No, no, it hurts," before the area went entirely quiet. Because of the stay-at-home orders keeping everyone isolated, the neighbor hesitated. They dismissed the screams as a loud movie or a domestic argument, and they didn't call the police. Mandated physical isolation combined with fabricated digital communication formed a trap. Gretchen was already gone, and the person pretending to be her was sitting on her couch, watching the phone batteries slowly drain. The digital illusion held until March 23rd, when Gretchen failed to log in to her remote work portal. Her family finally contacted the Jupiter Police Department to request a physical welfare check. When officers arrived at her front door, they weren't met by a medical team. Instead, a heavy, suffocating scent of industrial bleach hit them through the vents. Inside, the home looked like a staged crime scene. Using luminol in the master bedroom, detectives found droplets of blood that someone had tried to wipe off the walls. In the laundry room, the washing machine was still damp, containing towels stained with dark red residue. The garage held the most graphic evidence. Tracked across the dark concrete floor were distinct, ghostly white footprints left behind by a chemical bleach solution. Someone had bleached the floors and then reached up to rip the smart security cameras out of the ceiling. The killer had spent days typing out medical updates, yet the forensic evidence showed he spent just as long scrubbing blood off the walls of the townhouse. Police identified a primary suspect, Gretchen's estranged husband, David Anthony. He was a fitness trainer with a history of volatile rage who refused to accept Gretchen's recent divorce filing. David stayed in the house for days, attempting to build a physical paper trail that would support the fake CDC text messages. He took Gretchen's Mini Cooper and abandoned it in the parking lot of the local Jupiter Medical Center. He wanted anyone looking for her to believe she had driven herself to the emergency room. This sign at the hospital entrance proves the protocol David was weaponizing. Because hospitals were banning all visitors due to the pandemic, he assumed no family members would be able to physically verify his story. When detectives called Jupiter Medical Center, administrators ran Gretchen's name and told them they didn't have a single patient matching that description. They checked every isolation ward in the state, and she wasn't in any of them. David was focused on the global protocols of the pandemic, but he hadn't considered that police could check hospital records with a single phone call. His alibi had instantly become proof of a kidnapping. Once the hospital story collapsed, detectives pulled the cell phone tower pings for Gretchen's device. The tower data revealed that Gretchen's phone wasn't in a hospital, it was moving across state lines at highway speeds. The data also showed that Gretchen's phone was traveling in synchronization with David Anthony's personal cell phone as he fled for the border. State troopers finally cornered him in Las Cruces, New Mexico, nearly 2,000 miles away from the crime scene. He was arrested while walking his dog, but refused to tell authorities where he hid Gretchen. The same digital device he used to broadcast his fabricated alibi had become the tracking beacon that authorities used to hunt him down. He held her location hostage for 9 months. In December 2020, prosecutors offered David a plea deal. If he led them to the remains, he could plead guilty to second-degree murder instead of facing the death penalty. He took the deal. He led detectives to a grassy, wooded area right behind a local retail store. It was a mundane setting, located less than 3 miles from her own home. David Anthony was sentenced to 38 years in a Florida state prison. Looking back at this case, what is the most disturbing aspect? Is it the calculation of texting a mother while holding the victim's phone, or the fact that she was hidden right behind a busy store the entire time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for our weekly breakdowns.
We will see you in the next mystery.